A homeowner who didn't want one of the new smart electricity meters and an installer who wouldn't take a backward step. The result, a fiery clash, all caught on camera.
What are you doing? Did you see the sign that said do not install? Did you see the sign that said do not install? Did you see the sign that said do not install?
Hey, you want to get in my face, tough guy? I'll come and yell in your face.
Did you see the sign that said do not install?
Kid.
It's the dumbest thing. The not-so-smart meter operator sending sparks flying in this quiet cul-de-sac.
Come and threaten me and yell in my face, mate. You want a tough guy. You want to stand back there, smart guy, and I'll put you on the floor, mate. You want to threaten me?
The fiery exchange all caught on neighbour Darren's home security camera.
See right there? The camera. And there's a microphone right there that just heard you.
But the threat of being caught on candid camera does not short-circuit this standoff.
Oh, kiss my call the police, mate.
Private property, get off. This is private property, get off.
Don't touch me. Don't stop intimidating, trying to physically intimidate me, standing over me. What do you think I'm going to do? If someone come and physically intimidate me?
Do not swear. I didn't swear at you. What's your name first? I want your first and second name.
Frank.
Frank who?
I've got you.
Well, that's being just smart, isn't it?
Under my skin.
So-called Frank Sinatra is a subcontractor working for United Energy, employed to install smart meters in Hyatt in Melbourne's southeast. Resident Darren didn't want one. Darren, who does not wish to be identified, did have CCTV installed in his home.
That camera's been there for a year because we've had some break-ins in this little community here. We've had 5 different incidents with cars being broken into and a garage being broken into. So I put that up purely for that reason.
What it did capture was, let's call him Mr. Sinatra, installing a smart meter on Darren's neighbour's wall, right opposite Darren's house. Darren claims the installer was on his property and did not want his house to be next. When he confronted the operator mid-job, it ignited this.
I'm begging you to lay one finger on me.
I'm saying
and then I'll show you what intimidating behaviour
private property off. Private property. Private property off. I think you better get off my property. See this right here? This is my private property. Off. Off my private property.
How can I get off your private property when there's a dangerous electrical situation?
My 2-year-old was watching this whole thing through the wire door, and it took half an hour to console her afterwards. She was very distraught.
Next door neighbour, Elaine Blanc, who also refused to have a smart meter installed, witnessed the angry exchange.
The chap replacing the meter was really verbally and physically space invading the other chap, as in being like centimetres away from his face.
Elderly neighbour John Sullivan had a smart meter installed by the same technician.
Piece of meat and a sandwich. I think he had a very bad hair day. Everybody around here would have had a shot at him.
We got a lot of callers who were sympathetic towards the installer, saying he would have copped aggro all the time. But that's no excuse.
3AW's Neil Mitchell says the installer behaved like a thug.
I think it was unprofessional. He might claim he was provoked, doesn't matter. It was not the way to carry on. He's in an official position representing a company, and the instructions to them are, if there's any confrontation, leave it, walk out.
In a statement, United Energy says it's
aware of a verbal altercation that occurred between a meter installer and a customer. We have launched an immediate investigation into the incident. Threatening behaviour, including offensive language directed towards any customer by installers, is unacceptable.
And
we can confirm the installer deeply regrets his reaction.
So, what are residents' rights?
It's not widely known that the electricity companies actually own the meter, so they're allowed access to it and they're allowed to change it. If you deny them access, you could face an extra fee on your bill, or in the long run, you could have your electricity cut off.
The smart meter rollout is mandatory. You can put off installation, but not forever. However, Dan Simpson from the Consumer Action Law Centre says you don't have to put up with bad service.
Consumers should be aware that they can always ask someone to leave their property, and that person should do so immediately. If you're unhappy with their conduct, you should ring the company they represent and make a complaint.
Too scared to tell me your name, aren't you, hey? Who's the tough guy now?
Under my skin.
The end.
And United Energy says it's continuing to work closely with Frank Sinatra to ensure a similar incident does not happen again.